Another week filled with just delightful warm weather fragrances. Some a little bit more dense than others, some airy fresh, some super fruity, some very minty. But it's that time of the week and it's the weekly rotation for week number 81. So stay tuned. Starting on Sunday is one of my favorite clones / inspired fragrances, however you want to look at it. It's Sammy Andrus's version of Raj Parfums Elysium. It is called Blue Sapphire. Definitely one of my favorites. You see the juice level dropping on that bottle. Not rapidly because I don't wear it all the time, but I do manage to fit it in from time to time because I do really enjoy this one. It focuses more on the citrus and the metallic nature, takes away all the herbaceous components, everything that pretty much makes it herbal or a fougere-like type of scent, leaves the leather and the citruses pretty much, the fruits and citruses, and it performs. It performs very well. If you're only going to get one from Sammy Andrus, make it Blue Sapphire. And then when I got out the shower that night, it was time for a good shave. And I went with my Sterling Soap Company shave, soap, and aftershave splash of Sandpiper, which is the scent profile of La Nuit de l'Homme from YSL. And I mean accurate too. This stuff is fan-frickin-tastic. And lasts for a good solid 2 hours or so, roughly 2 hours. For an aftershave splash, that's pretty solid. It really is. 30 minutes of really being around you, it projects pretty well for about 30 minutes, and then 2.5 hours of lifespan before it kind of fades away. But man, I'll tell you what, it's not expensive. If you like traditional shaving and you like La Nuit de l'Homme, no reason not to get the shave set and out the shower that night. Sterling Soap Company Sandpiper. Moving into Monday, I was enjoying wearing this so much, I actually wore it all day and then again that night when I got out of the shower. I just did a full review on this one. I'll put that right there if you haven't checked it out yet. It's from Hugo Boss. It's called Hugo Now. Minty, watery, fresh, aquatic as they come. Kind of reminds me of a spearmint snowball. You know, when I did my first impressions video, when I first got this one in from FragranceNet, I was like, meh, this is kind of the basic fragrance of the bunch. And I'm not saying it's some super complex, crazy, unique scent, but I really enjoy this one. As I spend more and more time with it, I like it more and more every spray. This is an underrated little gem for the summer that is so fresh and watery. It kind of separates itself from all the other fresh, watery scents out there. And $27 will get you a 75 ml like this after the coupon code for 35% off from FragranceNet. I say if you're looking for a really good, affordable, fresh fragrance that I mean is super fresh and doesn't smell like all the rest of them this summer, my money's on Hugo Now. Actually, I've really been digging this one, and it's kind of climbing up the rankings in my collection, especially for this time of year. So like I said, don't sleep on this one. All day long, I went with Hugo Now from Hugo Boss. Moving into Tuesday, I had just did a different types of barbershop scents video, which if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put it right there for you. And this was the more shaving cream scent of the barbershop style fragrance, and that is Authenticity Perfumes, aptly named Barbershop. Has the barbicide color, because in that video I could not remember for the life of me what that sanitizing liquid was that they put their shears and stuff like that in. And I had people in the comments, as soon as they said barbicide, I was like, that was it. I was on the tip of my tongue. I could not get it out. But kind of the color of barbicide. But it's got its share of spices and lavender and stuff like that. All the standard fare you would expect with a barbershop style fragrance. But with this one, it has this delightful shaving cream smell that blends with it. Very creamy scent. Not your standard just citruses and aromatics. It's not just super soapy or anything like that. It's not heavily musky. It's got a shaving cream smell. And they perform very well. You can definitely get your hands on a sample. You don't have to purchase a bottle. So you can try it out that way from the link down below. One of my favorite barbershop fragrances because it's not your standard fare for barbershop, because it smells like shaving cream. That's Barbershop from Authenticity Perfumes. And when I got the shower that night, Just wanted to switch it up. Davidoff Cool Water, the Aquaman Flanker. So this one's making its rounds at the rack stores. I want to say I paid 16 or 17 at Burlington for this one. And under $20 for this, definitely worth it. Blast of orange. It's got that smoky guaiac wood. It's got a little bit of pepper. It's very simple note breakdown. It's those 3 notes. But it's almost got kind of like a boozy characteristic to it, even though there's clearly no boozy notes or anything. It's interesting. It's fresh and spicy and a little boozy woody, but doesn't wear heavy. Not some big powerhouse, and definitely not going to break the bank. Great casual scent, great work scent, great for the summer as a whole. Out the shower that night, Davidoff Cool Water. This was the Aquaman Flanker. Moving into Wednesday, I currently have a giveaway going on for my Dossier Perfumes video. I did state in the video I like this one so much I wanted to wear it, so I did indeed wear it. This is Woody Ginger from Dossier Perfumes. It's their version of Tom Ford Eau de Toilette, so I'm not going to waste any more sprays just in case the winner that ends up getting picked, this is what they pick. Because you can pick this or the other fragrance that's available, which is Frederic Malle Vetiver Extraordinaire, which is called Woody Vetiver. This is Woody Ginger. So if you want to enter that giveaway, I'll put that video right here. If you haven't checked it out just yet, you could win either this bottle or Woody Vetiver, which, like I said before, is Frederic Malle Vetiver Extraordinaire. That's quite a lovely scent in its own right. I just really, really like this one because I'd never tried Tom Ford EDT before, and I don't know how accurate it is to this, but I love a good ginger scent, and this is definitely ginger, spicy, woody, spicy type of smell. Definitely digging this one. That's Woody Ginger from Dossier Perfumes, their version of Tom Ford EDT, and I went from woody, spicy to super mega fresh citrus out the shower. The famed Mercedes-Benz Cologne making its rounds again. I don't know if FragranceBuy.ca still has it. I don't know if FragranceNet is still got some bottles left, but I discussed it recently in the video, 10 cheap fragrances that I think everyone needs in their collection. This was one of them. It's $38.99 after the coupon code, the 35% off coupon code from FragranceNet, and it's a must-have. Man, it just is. It's so mega fresh. Grapefruit, orange, just, man, this is one of the best summer fragrances out there, and it's still in cheapy territory, because for me, cheapy is under $40. Above that, you're in the affordable territory. It's not really expensive, 45, 50, 60 bucks. I mean, others may disagree, but you know, everybody's got their cutoff for what they consider a cheapy, and mine is once it hits 40 bucks, it moves from cheapy to relatively affordable. But this is still in that cheapy territory. 4 ounces. You can bathe in it. It smells incredible. Oh, it's so good. It smells like a slightly more synthetic version of Dior Homme cologne, but it performs a lot better, and it's a lot cheaper. And it's good for out the shower. It's obviously good for the hottest of weather in the summer. It's a great anytime scent, really, in the hottest of weather. Out the shower that night, the famed Mercedes-Benz Cologne. Moving into Thursday. So I just did a live unboxing and first impressions on this and 2 other fragrances. This was on back order since March. I've been waiting on this fragrance since March. It was sent to me for review, full disclosure. Fell in love with it immediately. It was the wow factor fragrance of the 3. It is from Raja Parfums. It is called Burlington 1819. Look at this gorgerific, gorgeous, terrific presentation. I love their caps. Love that. Yes, it's a sticker label with some printing on it, but love the caps. Does not hold strong at all, though. But this stuff, man, it smells like the rind of the bergamot in the first opening blast, like the citrus peel of a bergamot. Then it starts to turn into this warm, citrusy, orange type of smell because there's this rum booziness and there's this warm spice, this herbal green spice that comes in. Super complex fragrance for being as fresh and warm as it is. When I first saw the note breakdown, when I first heard Justin talk about it, because Justin sold me on this one from Stay Fresh Production, shout out to you, Justin. I wanted this fragrance, and I've been trying to get my hands on it for a long time now. Well, I've been waiting anyways, for a few months, and Everything I expected it was and more. Huge wow factor fragrance. Lasts forever. Not some room filling projection. Full review coming soon, but this is my early thoughts on it. Not some room filling projection. Consistent arm's length, maybe a little better, for hours and hours. So far, I could tell you 4 or 5 hours of consistent arm's length projection. It never seems to settle down beyond that. It starts to change in nuance as time progresses. That rum comes out more and more and more as the citruses fade. But man, I took a shower after having this wearing of this day in the rotation. I took a shower at like the 11-hour mark, and it was far from being done. So this stuff is 12 plus hour fragrance. I'm confident in that. I'm going to continue to do more testing, and I will bring a full review at some point. But I can tell you, am I saying it's worth the money? Not necessarily. I mean, Roger Parfum's fragrances are super expensive, but from a quality and performance standpoint and complexity and just wow factor as a whole, man, this is one of the best citrus fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. No bullshit. Roger Parfum's Burlington 1819. I mean, freaking amazing fragrance. And out the shower that night, I switched it up and went with one of my favorites. Sean John 3 AM. Very polarizing fragrance. A lot of people love this fragrance. Some people can't stand it and say 30 minutes it's gone. And, you know, it's unfortunate that you got that dry skin that drinks fragrance oils. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. I'd be upset too if my skin drank fragrances like that. But definitely not a 30-minute fragrance for me. Not a powerhouse either. Like a 3 or 4 hour fragrance, you know. 5 hours if I spray my clothes, and that's pushing it. Like I said, it's not powerful for me by any means, but that whole 20-30 minutes thing, I'm not saying that's not what's going on for some of you guys. If that's really what's happening, man, I'm sorry to hear that, because I'd be pretty pissed off about it too. Not going to sit here and lie. I wouldn't want to get but 30 minutes of longevity out of any fragrance, let alone one that I can get for 12 or 13 bucks. Granted, a little easier pill to swallow when they're that cheap, but still, I got to at least get 3 hours to make it even worth the 12 bucks in my opinion. And this one's around that, a little bit more, maybe. That's why I like to wear it out the shower. It's not some great performer. It's definitely on the weaker side and below average, but it smells incredible, and it's one of the best atomizers in the game. Not that that's a big thing, but it's kind of cool. Fig leaf, gin, has that gin and tonic water smell. I don't think there's any gin, but there's that tonic water smell to it. And then there's a little bit of leather. It's got some character to it. Love this one. I like wearing it casually, and I love wearing it out the shower. And that's Sean John, 3 AM. Moving into Friday, the king of my collection. Some may not get it, but that's okay. You don't have to. It's my favorite fragrance. Your favorite fragrance is probably different, but for me, Invictus Aqua. Now we're warm enough to where I'm wanting to pull this bad boy out. I love the way it smells. It's so fresh, aquatic, powdery goodness. I just love this stuff. I always have. Ever since the first time I smelled it. It overtook the original Invictus as my favorite fragrance in my collection, because for a long time, Invictus was my favorite fragrance. And this started to become a close second immediately when I got it. And eventually, it has become my favorite. No fragrance has ever gotten me more compliments than this. I love this stuff. I will be wearing it much more regularly. I only wear it in the summer. I don't even wear it in the spring, really. Strictly in the summer. I've been hearing rumblings of this being discontinued. It's sad if so. They did that with the 2016, but at least with this one, they went 3 years before they discontinued it, if that's true. Sad if it is true, and I'll need to get my hands on a 5.1 ounce backup bottle, the big stupid looking tall one. The big bottles do look stupid, but I'll want to have a bunch. But man, I love wearing this stuff. Just the little sprays in this video is just not enough sometimes, because I'll feature it in a few videos and I might not necessarily be wearing it that week, but I just did a full wearing and it's still my favorite. I love this stuff. It's so damn good. Don't knock it until you try it. It's not for everybody, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely for me. Paco Rabanne's Invictus Aqua. And then when I got out of the shower that night, one I just talked about recently that is a lovely rosemary bomb for the summertime. Issey Miyake Le Bleu d'Issy Eau Fraiche. So I believe this one's discontinued as well. I gave myself more sprays than I normally do out the shower, because this was last night that I wore it. I typically do 4 sprays going all the way around, but I did 7. I did a spray on just on my shirt as well, and then each shoulder. I usually wear a sleeveless shirt to sleep at night, so I did each shoulder. So I ended up doing 7 sprays, which is way more than enough. That's normally what I would spray for a normal daily wearing with this fragrance. It's just so good. It's so enjoyable. They're still super cheap, 20 bucks ish range for a 75 ml like this. If you like a great green, fresh, spicy, fresh fragrance, this is my favorite summer fragrance that really doesn't feature pretty much anything for citrus. It's all about fresh greens. One of the best in my opinion. Out the shower that night, Issey Miyake Le Bleu Dissy Eau Fraiche. Finally on Saturday, one I've been itching to pull out that I just haven't. It just kept missing the rotation somehow. One reason or another, I don't know why exactly. But the salty aquatic, bring you to the beach when you smell it, Bulgari Aquamarine. Yes, for as mega fresh as this fragrance is, it actually performs pretty well. Does it perform as well as Aqua Atlantique? Of course not, but 6 to 8 hours. I've worn it 3 times now, 2 times or 3 times now, and I know yesterday, or I'm sorry, today. I was wearing it earlier today, and I just took a shower a little while ago. I think I got to like the 9-hour mark with it. It wasn't a skin scent yet, so could potentially do even better than that. This is a favorite for summertime for a lot of people. This is a lot of people's favorite in the line, and I understand that. I'm not going to knock it. Aqua Atlantique's still my favorite in the line, but this is a close second. This stuff is awesome. If you like super fresh marine fragrances, and when I say marine, it's because it's got a real strong saltwater saltiness to it. Man, this stuff is great. It is fan-frickin-tastic. Take this and add Dylan Blue to it, and you pretty much got Aqua Atlantique. It's kind of where you're at. Take this fragrance exactly and add Dylan Blue, and there you go. But all day Saturday was loving this. The wife loves it too. And I did get a compliment when I went and get my mail out the mail room at the office at our complex. And that was my only compliment for the day besides the wife. But it's always nice when you get a nice compliment. This one did pull 2 in technically, but 1 from a random person. And that was Bulgari Aquamarine. And then just got out the shower, had a nice shave. I used my Alexandria Fragrances Citron Del Mar shave soap and went with my vintage Nautica aftershave splash, and I'm currently wearing 2 sprays of the vintage Nautica fragrance. This came in a gift set. These are over 20 years old, these bottles. This has a spoiled top note. There's nothing spoiled about this aftershave splash, which still blows me away. As you can see, I use the splash way more than I use the fragrance. This is pretty much my favorite aftershave that I currently have. And I plan on getting another bottle. They're not that hard to find. They're not that expensive. Just smells good. It does the job. It's got that nice alcohol sting to it. I like that. I just do. Makes my skin feel good. It has a pretty strong scent strength for about an hour or so, and then it fades. That's why I like to add a couple sprays of the fragrance. But out the shower on Saturday, had a good shave. Nautica Vintage Collection, the aftershave splash, and the fragrance. Well, that was my rotation for week number 81, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What did you guys wear this week? You know the deal. If you've watched before, let me know down in the comments. I love to read what you guys' week looked like. Was it 1 fragrance? Was it 10 fragrances? Is there as much variety as my weeks tend to be? Because I always have some pretty good variety. I've been wearing a lot of designers, a lot of cheapies lately. I got a lot of niche reviews I'm working on right now. So I think this upcoming week's probably going to be dominated by niche fragrances. So be on the lookout for that rotation. Going to be some real heavy hitters coming up this next week. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances featured in this rotation video and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.